What's up, guys? Welcome to the Duel Links Entertainment YouTube channel. It's me, Kamell, and I'm joined by Rye, and we're bringing you that box review that was just leaked from the last night's maintenance that brought the new event, Arena of Sanctuary, the mini box. I told you guys
Ooh.
we were gonna get a mini box before the new world. They were not gonna leave us hanging. But so I don't know much about the cards, and right, what are your thoughts going in? Do you know anything?
Yeah, so I read all the cards. Obviously, you guys can kind of see Karma Cut is available in this box, so already worth it to go into the box.
Yeah, oh my gosh,
But there's
that's
some there's,
huge.
yeah, that's really huge. That card is amazing, especially as an SR. There's some other good cards in there, but none of them even compare to the power of Karma Cut. But there's some stuff in there we can talk about.
Yeah, I guess the main archetype from what I was reading is Valkyries.
Hmm.
So, do you want to get those out of the way first, and then we
Sure.
can break down the other archetypes? So, the first Valkyrie card is Valkyrie Brunhild. It is a light level 7 fairy, unaffected by your opponent's spells. Effects gains 500 attack for each monster your opponent controls. When an opponent declares an attack, you can have this card lose exactly 1,000 defense. If you do, your Valkyrie monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Alright, I mean, sure.
Yeah, so the Valkyrie monsters, they're interesting. They kind of spam the board with monsters very, very quickly, and try to like use monster effects to kind of get in there and I guess maybe OTK. I'm not really sure what the exact game plan is with them because they're all kind of on the lower end of the strength. There is one that we'll read later that kind of helps them with that. Um, but this effect, I think this one was just kind of like the anime card, if I'm not
Mm,
mistaken, that was used in the anime.
yeah.
Obviously, getting 500 for each monster your opponent controls, that can be good if you're being overwhelmed. The losing 1,000, it's not a huge deal to protect from battle. You don't usually die from battle, but it's nice to have. And I think there's a way to special summon this too. We'll read later.
Yeah, the archetype has a lot of ways to special summon multiple Valkyries on the field. So while it may not be like one of your combo starters, it may come out
Hmm.
later. So the next Valkyrie, there's a couple SRs. The first is Valkyrie Sigrum, a light level 9 fairy. If this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up spell trap you control, send it to the graveyard, and then special summon this card. If it is normal or special summon, you can special summon one level 8 or lower Valkyrie monster from your hand or graveyard, and ends once per turn. So there you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you can get that from the grave, you can get it from your hand. This itself is level 9, so you're not really going to be, you're going to have a spell or trap card. Probably a spell. It can be all sorts of spells, field spells, continuous spells, whatever, just to get this out.
Dude, people are gonna play like Sanctuary in the Sky, right? With counter fairies.
Sanctuary in the sky. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's the plan. I was thinking about decks that this kind of archetype can work in. I was thinking probably something more trap heavy with just the monsters, and then playing something like an equip spell or something just to have the effects go off. But you could also do counter fairies for sure if you wanted to go that route.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a couple more Valkyrie Secht. All right, light level 1 fairy. If this card is special summoned, you can special summon one Valkyrie monster from your deck, except this
Mhm.
card during your main phase. You can send the top 2 cards from your opponent's deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. All right, so I mean, why would you want this on the field? It takes up the spot of like another level 8 that you can
Yeah,
just
I
get.
mean, like it's nice to get the special summon from the deck if you really need
Oh
a
yeah, in a
certain
pinch.
Valkyrie monsters, and there's a lot of Valkyrie monsters that have some crazy effects when they're on the field. I think there's one that like reduces all your opponent's attack and stuff. So it's like in a pinch if you want to special summon it just to get a Valkyrie quickly out. The second effect you really, I don't think you want to be using that. Send the top 2 decks from your opponent's deck to the grave. That's just not good. And dueling sending to grave is like good for the opponent, so we're not doing that
Yeah,
like
definitely
ever,
not.
unless we're like close to decking someone out. You'll be using it for the first effect more so.
Yeah, you're gonna get yourself into trouble doing that.
You're gonna mill like Bushira Nui monsters and then you're dead.
So there are a few rare Valkyries. We'll go through them
Mhm.
pretty quickly. Valkyrie Erda. If you control one Valkyrie Erda, while you control this card, special summoned by the effect of a Valkyrie card, all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack. Any card destroyed by battle or card effect that would be sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead.
Yeah, this card is pretty strong. Probably the best card that they have.
Yep.
While you control his card, special summoned by the effective Valkyrie monster, permanently your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack. That does not come back at the end phase. And then, of course, if something's destroyed by battle or card effect and it's sent to the graveyard, banish instead. That's also amazing against certain archetypes as well. So that's what I was thinking. Like, this archetype would probably work better if you tried to turbo this card out, and then you just had like ridiculously good back row to stop your opponent from essentially playing the game.
Right. So right now our main enablers are the 2 SRs that we see, and this is like probably the best card we're seeing so far. Valkyrie Erda. So next we have Valkyrie Sweet, level 5. If this card is summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it after damage calculation. If this card battled, you can target one continuous spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn.
Yeah, I mean, not a terrible effect. Literally summon pop, and it is level 5, so it would have to be special summoned or tribute summoned, I suppose. So I guess you could technically go into like the level 1, and then the follow up, you can have this in your hand and tribute over it. But if just because it's level 5, it's just kind of annoying to play in the deck. I don't know if it'll make the main cut. There are other stronger Valkyries, but it's an interesting effect. Maybe.
Yeah, just to bring it out when you need it.
Yeah, just because it just says summon, so if you just special summon it just to pop something too, could be good.
All right, so next we have Vampire Druid. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Valkyrie card from your deck to your hand. Except Valkyrie Druid, you can only use this effect of Valkyrie Druid once per turn. Gain 200 attack for each of your opponent's banished monsters. Not great. I don't think so.
Yeah, not that great. I mean, the search is okay. That's probably the best part of it. The permanent attack boost, while it sounds nice on paper, you have 1,000 attack to start with. So to get any real value, you have to banish a bunch of cards to begin with, and then slowly get that attack up.
And you have to think, like, how big is your deck getting at this point? Like, are you really gonna have room for a 1,000 attack normal summon? Like, to protect this, you're gonna need other things, so it may not be worth it.
Probably not. I will say it is kind of nice that it's Valkyrie card, so it doesn't have to be the monsters. It can also be the spells. That being said, I don't even know if the spell, while it is strong, I don't know if that will necessarily also be making the cut. So it kind of depends. If the spell's good, you'll probably see this card, but we'll just kind of have to see first.
All right. Valkyrie Verde. During your main phase, you can excavate the top cards of your deck equal to the number of Valkyrie monsters you control. And if you do, add one excavated normal spell trap to your hand. Also, send the remaining cards to the graveyard. Otherwise, shuffle all excavated cards into the deck. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Valkyrie from the deck once per turn, each effect.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds good on paper, but the fact that it has to be equal to the number of other Valkyrie monsters you control means that you would have to do it after special summoning with like the level 1 or something. So your board, your follow-up is going to be good, but your board at first would not be that great. I could see a world where you play it, but I don't know. I think turboing out the big boy and then ignoring these small monsters is going to be kind of the way. Otherwise, it'll just be too slow for the game.
Let's see. All right. So next we have what do we have? We have Final Light is our first spell. Sorry that it is cut off a little bit if you guys can't see it, but Final Light is a normal spell. Pay life points in multiples of 1,000, then target one Valkyrie monster in your graveyard with a different name for every 1,000 life points paid. Special summon them. Then your opponent can special summon monsters with 2,000 or less attack from their graveyard up to the number of monsters you special summoned by this effect. You can only activate this once per turn.
Yeah, you're gonna see this card in some sort of cheese deck for sure. Like, I mean, whenever in Duel Links, whenever you get to the point where you're paying life points in multiples of whatever, when you get that decision, it's going to be kind of interesting to see. So we could live in a world where it's like Lightsworn Valkyries are a thing, and then you go first, then you Final Light, and then access denied or something silly like that. And then close out your opponent from doing anything. I don't think we're going to see this card played in like a legitimate deck. I think it's just going to be in a cheese Valkyrie deck, which I'm excited for. Let's do it. I'm down.
Let's go, man. So the next Valkyrie spell is Valkyrie's Embrace. It is a normal spell. If all monsters you control are Valkyrie monsters, target one attack position Valkyrie monster you control and one face-up monster your opponent controls. Change your monster to defense position, and if you do, banish that opponent's monster. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this card, except Valkyrie monsters once per turn.
Yeah, so I mean, a very powerful effect with a lot of conditions. The first kind of annoyance is having to control all Valkyrie monsters, so that pretty much locks you out of all synchros because there's no synchros. So no tuning plays with the Valkyrie decks if you play this card. And if something like Lava Golem hits your board, it's going to be kind of hard to use this as well. It's a very strong effect, though, getting that banish off. Even if it is a targeted banish, it's still very powerful in its own right. And this is where I was saying, like, I'm not 100% sure if this is better than just our generic back row, for example, like Karma Cut. If it's not, then you wouldn't play this or the Searcher. But if it is good, which it does have a good effect, so there might be a chance it makes the cut, even for like a free-to-play, then the Searcher probably will be good, because you can literally summon your Searcher, 1,000 attack doesn't matter, and then you Valkyrie's Embrace immediately. And that's a very powerful effect to come back into the game. So
yeah,
could be interesting to keep our eye on.
If you are able to pull it off, it banishes. It can be huge.
Yeah.
And it is target. Yeah, you do target. Okay, so the next is Apple of Enlightenment is a normal trap. Target cards in your opponent's graveyard up to the number of Valkyrie monsters you control. Banish them if this set card in its owner's control has left the field because of an opponent's effect and is now in the graveyard. Banished. You can draw cards equal to the number of Valkyrie monsters you control +1.
Yeah, I mean I think this might just be too slow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just play like Jar Greed or something.
I saw a comment in DLM, like someone was saying, like, imagine you Cosmic Cyclone this, and then your opponent draws 4.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I mean, let's go draw 4 for Cosmic Cyclone. Of course, that would be like you went second, you summoned a whole board, and then they don't die, and then they Cosmic you. I mean, yeah, if you get that value off, shit, four cards, let's go. But I don't know, man. It might be just a little too slow to actually get anything done with it.
Yeah, so that is that, and this is also Valkyrie. Okay, Logi's Flame. Let me move this. Well, while you control a Valkyrie monster, monsters your opponent controls with 2,000 or less attack cannot attack. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 5 or higher Valkyrie monster from your hand or deck. This one's kind of awkward, right? Because it's neither a normal trap or a continuous spell.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. I see where they're going with it, with the Urda reducing all your opponent's monsters by 1,000. So that means the opponent's going to be struggling very hard to actually get anything to attack. So that interaction's interesting, but I just don't see it working in PvP. Interestingly enough, though, it may work very well for PvE farming, where your opponent is brain dead and plays slower. There could be some interesting combination there, especially since they're both ours. Could be something to keep your eye on, but I don't expect it to make a meta impact at all.
All right, so these Valkyries are like the chariots. Do you have read them? Do you think they have any merit at all whatsoever? Any of the normal ones?
Not really. The chariot, level 6, that one lets you attack directly, but at half, so no one's going to use that. The other one, I believe it gives it like 500 attack.
Yeah.
And then there's one where your Valkyrie monsters gain like 200 attack for each banish, and then you can like send a trap from the deck to the grave or something like that.
Yeah.
So all those pretty irrelevant right now. Maybe in the future with like crazy support. But yeah, I mean the only trap you would send would be like the Apple of Enlightenment or something like that.
Right.
So
all right, so that's Valkyries. We'll give our comments on all the archetypes and such at the end. Moving on, we have Cara Curry's.
Yes.
Cara Curry Bronze MDL 9763 Kuna Muzan.
That's the name of his mixtape, dude. Holy moly.
Earth level 5 machine. This card must attack if able. If this card is targeted for an attack, change the battle position of this card. If this card is in your hand, you can target one Cara Curry monster you control, change its battle position. If you do, special summon this card as a tuner. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Earth Machine, and it is once per turn. So this is kind of what Cara Curry needed back in the day, man. They needed a special summonable tutor from the hand to
Yeah,
get going, but
yeah.
oh no.
Um,
But sadly, it's 2020.
I mean, it's definitely going to be played in Cara Curry, but it's really hard to play Cara Curry in today's environment with,
Yeah.
especially with all the traps going around and everything. They did get some other support, which is really, really nice.
It's the background
Um,
bonanza, you know.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, this is definitely welcome. I'm hoping to see that this does make Cara Curry better, and I do kind of expect to start seeing them, especially in tournaments. I just don't know how far they'll get. Or if they'll just kind of be like where magnets and stuff are, where they're just kind of a rogue deck that are there. But this is nice. I appreciate it, Kanam.
Yeah, thank you. So, please forgive me if I miss any, but the next one is Cara Curry Cash In.
Hmm.
Yes. It is a normal trap. Target one Cara Curry monster you control and one effect monster your opponent controls. Change the battle positions of your monster, and if you do, negate the effects of that opponent's monster until the end of this turn. If you control a
Hmm.
Cara Curry monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target one face-up monster on the field. Change that monster's battle position, and then once per turn.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Cara Curry exclusive Fiendish Chain, essentially.
I think it's like
Um,
it makes the turn one for them kind of better if they
yeah.
after they draw two, they can
Hmm.
end on this as well.
Yeah, and Cara Curry has some, a couple boxes ago had even more crazy Cara Curry specific traps. So it's definitely nice. I think this will also make the main build because even if you do have like Fiendish Chains and stuff like that, you can just play this in addition to that, and you can just play like an anti-monster effect version of the deck. And then, of course, if you're playing Cara Curries, you're always going to have a Cara Curry to use the secondary effect as well, which is really huge because a lot of the effects go off when something changes battle position. The draw two, for example, or anything like that. This is going to be a nice card. I think it'll be a nice addition.
All right. Next for Cara Curries, I think that's it, right?
There's the R equip spell, which is
Oh
interesting.
boy, it is a Cara Curry Gamma Oil. Activate this card by targeting one Cara Curry monster in your graveyard, special summon and equip it with this card. Once per turn, if the battle position of a face-up Cara Curry monster you control is changed, the equipped monster gains 500 attack defense, even if it is no longer equipped. Once per turn.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this card. It's basically like it's actually kind of nice because either it's good recovery for bringing back your synchros if something happens to them,
Mm-hmm.
but I think probably what's going to be played more, if it's played at all, maybe at one or something, is to bring back your synchros or your
Yeah.
tuners. So after you tune, you get the what's the level 6 guy, you bring him out and then he like summons a Karakuri from the deck. Then you could follow up with this, bring back your tuner and synchro Shokan again if you wanted to do something like that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting if there's going to be any space for this card, but I think if there is space, it'll be played for sure. Just having that revival, you're just using it for the revival. You're not really using it for the 500 attack effect or whatever like that.
All right. So, I think that's it for archetypes. Everything else is actually like one of like even though there's
Hmm.
a little bit of support everywhere. This box is really weird. So we're just gonna go
Yeah.
over the UR. Trishula, the Dragon of Icy Imprisonment. It is a water level 9 dragon fusion, and it requires 3 monsters with different names. That is the only requirement.
Very generic.
Must first be either fusion summoned using only monsters in your hand and or field, or special summoned from your extra deck by banishing from above cards you control, in which case you do not use polymerization. If this card was special summoned using only monsters that were originally dragons, you can reveal and banish 3 cards, one from your deck, one from the top of your opponent's deck, and one from their extra deck. You can only use this effect of once per turn.
Yeah. So I don't know if any decks will necessarily play this.
I mean, three dragons. Three dragons. You
Three
can
dragons.
just throw this in Blue Eyes, dude.
Just throw it in Blue Eyes, dude. Let's go. The problem is with Blue Eyes, it has to get the secondary effect. It has to be monsters you currently control. It can't be from the hand. And you have to have 3 dragons on the board, and then you go into this. Oh God, I don't know if you necessarily want to do.
White Stone is a dragon, right?
Right. So you got Whitestone on the field,
and then you got Blue Eyes, and then you can,
instead of synchro summoning, you go into this, dude. I guess it's good if your shit gets floodgated, right? So then you just go whoop fusion from. I don't know. I guess you could throw it in a couple of things, but even if you get it off, it's not like the effect is that amazing, you know. It's you reveal 1 from your deck, 1 from the top of your opponent's deck, and then 1 from the extra, and then you banish all 3. It's not like a crazy effect. It's kind of like, wow, that's annoying.
Oh man, it's so weird, man. This is the last box before these. And this is the cover card.
Oh my God,
this is so weird.
Not a synchro, but another fusion. Let's go.
Oh God. So let's go into the next card. I didn't even read this card when I looked at the box before. Arcana Force EX the Dark Ruler, light level 10. It's an Arcana Force card. You know it does the flip thing. Hence, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. But if it does so, using this effect, change it to defense position at the end. It cannot be changed.
Until the end.
If this card is destroyed, destroy all cards of the field.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, again, this is a huge cost. You gotta, you can special summon it, which is nice, but you gotta send 3 monsters to build the graveyard. You're not playing
this in Stromberg, bro. They're just gonna play this in
Stromberg. Yeah, it's gonna get Stromberg. Just pop everything. Black Rose Dragon.
Oh God. Okay. Nova Summoner, light level 4. When this card is destroyed by balance into the graveyard, you can special summon 1 light level fairy, 1500 or less attack. If Sanctuary in the Skies on the field, you can special summon Air Knight Parshath instead. Yeah,
just another card, one of those cards that they should have released a while ago, but got power crept, so they're releasing it now.
Yeah, and Air Knight Parshath is just this guy, this level 5 guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Triamid Sphinx.
Here it is.
Man, I wish we had Circus here, man. I read this. I was like, whoa, level 10 rock.
Here it is. Finally.
Cannot be normal summon set. Must be special summoned with the effect of a Triamid card. And cannot be special summoned by other ways. If a face-up Triamid cards you control, except Triamid Sphinx, is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. While you control another Triamid card, this card gains 500 attack and defense for each field spell card with a different name in your graveyard. Also, monsters your opponent control cannot attack except to attack Triamid Sphinx.
There you go. Obviously, this is the card that all Triamid players have been waiting for. Now, the question is this going to bring them into the meta? Probably not, just to set expectations. However, it will definitely make them that contender level rogue style deck. Just like, Magnets when Berserkion came out, where it was like, okay, finally you're a deck now, and you can maybe win some tournaments, maybe do a few things. 2 weaknesses of Triamids. The first being there was if you just summoned a 3K beater, they couldn't really do anything. It was just like it was just like
2500 base, and then it can go up to 4K if you have each of the field spells in the grave. Just the Triamids. If you play other ones for whatever reason, it'll be higher.
There you go. And then, of course, they could eventually get over there. They'd summon the Dancer, but then the Dancer is just super vulnerable. That Triamid Sphinx is now also protecting against that. And then finally, Cosmic Cyclone. If you go first set Cosmic, they go second, they set up their whole board, and then the end phase use Cosmic, their field spell. Usually they're screwed. But here with Triamid Sphinx, again, it's kind of like he's not as reliant on the field spells. He just cares that they're in the graveyard so he can get the attack. Other than that, his effects are still good to go. He doesn't have to rely on them. And then I guess the only other annoying thing is you can only special summon this from a Triamid effect, which means his own effect, because none of the other Triamid effects special summon, which is kind of annoying.
Oh, yeah, because the other ones, they only special summon level 4 or lower,
Yeah, and that's not even a special summon.
Man.
That's a normal summon.
Normal summon.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's even worse. So in order to bring this guy out, either your opponent has to attack into you, or you have to swing into your opponent, which, is just like Desperado, essentially. So while it's nice, and it'll definitely give them a much needed boss monster and much needed support for the deck to actually be, you know, decent again. So they're not just like losing out because someone summoned a 3K normal monster on them. I think it's still not quite enough for Trimids to go back to that tiered status that they were in before.
Yeah, I think it's too little, too late. Unfortunately,
too little, too late. But hey, you guys can play Trimids again, and you know, if you get a lucky streak, probably win a battle phase with it. I'm down, dude. Let's go.
Someone who's a god will do it. So next is a Synchro Exploder Dragon Wing Dark level 7, 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner dragon. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a monster, you can destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack the destroyed monster had on the field. This card's attack must be greater than or equal to the attack of that monster to activate and resolve this effect. We should have had this card a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, a long time ago, we should have had this card.
It's just burn. It's not even a generic synchro. You know, and then having an attack that's greater or equal to. I mean, that's basically that Exploder Dragon would have swung and killed it anyway. The only thing that this is good against is monsters that can't be destroyed by battle. You can technically destroy it by card effect. And yeah, level 7 such an awkward.
And even the cards you want to destroy by card effect, like a Kitus, they can't even be destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like and level 7's like an awkward level for dragons as well. So yeah, this should have come out like when Synchros first came out. Yeah, this is way too late for this card to be good.
I don't even know what type of dragon you're gonna play. That's the lore.
You'd have to do like, oh man, you'd have to do like a level 4 dragon.
Dude.
Yeah, Dragudi. Oh, actually, yeah, Dragudi.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yo, screw that. We have Exploder Dragon Wing. Oh my god.
We just found the Dragudi Spice. There you go.
Yo, Nightfox, hit me up, man.
Alright, this is a OG card. Combination attack.
God.
I don't even know why this is in the box. Quickly spell. During a battle phase, you can use this effect on one monster that has attacked or is equipped with a union monster. Change the union monster back to an equipped monster in face-up attack or defense position. Also, the monster equipped with the union monster may attack again this turn.
Yo, you can get 3 attacks off of 1 union. Let's go. I mean, I think union. There were some unions with the Valkyries, but I mean, you're not going to play this in Valkyries.
But don't union monsters have to say union on them, or did they?
Yeah. They have to say union on them. So if you go check the Valkyrie cards, they have union on them.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No,
yeah, they do. Check the ones at the bottom: Valkyrie Chariot and Valkyrie.
They do not say union.
Yeah, fairy union.
God, the chariots are unions. Oh my god.
So I don't know why this is an SR. It should probably be like an N, but you know,
ridiculous.
Maybe it'll be good for farming. I don't know.
Oh my god. All right, next scrapyard. Add 1 scrap tuner from your deck to your hand.
Yeah, I mean, if you are a scrap player, this is actually something you've been waiting on for a while. A lot of these scrap monsters are tuners, so it's literally search half your archetype, which is pretty neat. I think scraps are always going to be kind of, I don't know, there's just too many monsters of them. They don't really work in a 20 card game. So I don't know if they'll ever really get anywhere. But hey, now with this and the scrap factory card or whatever it was called, you can basically search your whole deck. So if that deck is going to do anything, you know, it has no excuse now to get in there. That deck is super expensive, and now this is another SR making it even more expensive. And all that money, you don't really do anything with the deck. Man, you don't really do much.
Just paying to say I have a scrap deck. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you play scraps, this is an amazing card for you. You get to search have half your art. There's like 3 or 4 tuners that this thing can search.
Yeah. All right, and then finally.
Oh boy.
Karma Cut. Discard 1 card, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls. Banish it. And banish all cards with the same names as monsters from your opponent's graveyard.
Yeah, clearly an amazing card. I mean, yeah, we don't. This was a selection box card, so we've already seen it at work in tournaments, in all of our tournaments. Neos uses it. Invoked Sabers use it. Sure, every deck uses it besides like Witchcrafter. So, yeah, amazing card. You're gonna want 3 of these. This is why you're going into the box, and you're hoping that you don't get Scrapyard, but you know, maybe Trimid Sphinx or something, so you can play some other decks while you're going for this Karma Cut.
So I don't think there's anything of note left in the box. There's some Watts, there's some like Trick Stars, but they don't. There's like 2 cards, but so we can go right into it. Do you think Karma Cut justifies someone who has no Karma Cut going in to get 3 Karma Cut from this box?
I think ultimately, if you're planning on being a competitive player, yes, this card is one of a kind. It's kind of like when Ballista Squad came out. It pretty much changed the entirety of Shiranui. Shiranui before, if you get a Shiranui player, that's it. They were done. Like, like they're just going to die. But when Ballista Squad came out, it was like, okay, now we're changing it up. Karma Cut, what it does is it cuts through monsters that protect from being destroyed by battles. So things like the Sun Saga, the Blackwing, the big Blackwing that can't be destroyed by card effects, the Onimaru. Yep. There are so many monsters that right now can be targeted but cannot be destroyed, and Karma Cut deals with those issues. And then also decks like Witchcrafter, which can mill out a Veer, and then they summon a Veer, you play this, they're essentially dead. That's it. It's over. GG.
Right. When you're talking like a card like this, like, you have to understand this is one of those cards that completely changes the meta and changes what people play and how other decks do. Like a deck like Infernities, the reason why that deck is not played right now is because it is tragic when you get hit by 1 Karma Cut.
Yeah.
And now everyone is going to have Karma Cut. So you will see just how intense it gets when a card like this gets out. And it is still very dominant. And until like something is done to counteract it, it's going to be very dominant as well. So
yeah, I would argue that the moment you get Karma Cut, you reset this box. There's some other nice things in here, but nothing even comes close to the staying power of Karma Cut. Like Valkyries might be fun for a little bit, Cara Curry might be fun for a little bit, but unless you're really planning on playing those cards, or Trimid even, because you've just been playing that card for a while, unless you really want those cards for whatever reason, I would just go Karma Cut and then stop from there.
Okay, so just to say, like, for the new players from our guide that we've been doing on the channel, how important is this to them in their progression?
In their progression, this would be a similar importance of something like Raigeki Break or Ballista Squad. So this would be something that you get after you finish getting your main engine, after you finish getting those basic staples, Canadia, Floodgate, Cosmic Cyclone, and after you finish getting well, really just those 2. You don't really have to worry about anything else. And then after that, you make the decision of, okay, this is the deck I'm going to build. For example, Invoke Neos or Element Saber, whatever deck that you're going to build at that point. This would be probably the next thing you get after getting like a Purgatrio, for example. Like you would get your Purgatrio, then you would go get this immediately right after.
Right. So now that this card is readily available, there's no rush. You still only need to get it if you are planning on building a deck that requires it and can make good use of it. So this is only a must-buy for people who will 100% be playing in the competitive space, playing in
for sure.
Because
you're
going to need this against all the meta decks to side it, to main it.
Yeah.
You're going to need this. Otherwise, if you're working your way up, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if you look at all the popular meta decks right now, a lot of them are playing this card for that exact reason, it just being that good. So I'm amazed that they gave it to us this early, but you know what? You got to sell the box somehow, I guess. So here it is.
That's a fact. All right, so there's not much else, but did you see the Pot of Greed support?
Yo, actually usable because Jaden has that Pot of Greed skill.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Oh man, and the normal monsters on this box are absolutely insane. Neck Hunter.
Yeah, dude.
Job Change Mirror.
I'm gonna hunt your neck.
I know some people who need that one.
I mean, yeah. I actually was thinking that the Watt Giraffe is actually low key kind of strong. Because check this out, dude.
Yeah.
This opponent can attack your opponent directly, or this card can attack your opponent directly. If it inflicts battle damage to your opponent by direct attack, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of this turn. That means you can swing with this to check for Sphere Karibo, and if they don't sphere the giraffe, they can't activate it for any follow-up attacks. Holy moly, dude.
Watts are an Xyz archetype as well.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is actually kind of low key strong.
So yeah,
maybe,
be on the lookout. I mean,
maybe.
you know, if you go in.
Yeah,
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
I think that's all I have to say. Honestly, these are just the bits and bobs that they've got left before Xyz, and I do not think that anything here is worth you picking up except Karma Cut, because
Yeah,
the card pool will increase tremendously 1 month from now, and you don't need to make a huge investment in this unless you absolutely need Karma Cut, and you don't plan on investing in the selection box when Zexal comes out. And guess what? When Zexal comes out, there's going to be a crazy big sale, man. You don't need to buy
yeah.
it when this sale is on. This is the bait. Take those gems. Wait for the Zexal sale. It's going to be crazy if you do want to go in on here. So yeah,
There you
that's what I
go.
have to say. Anything else, Rye?
No, that's pretty much it. Karma Cut save this box.
Karma can save this box. That's a fact. That's the only the
It's
thing
like the
here.
big reason to get it.
So yeah, I want to thank everyone for coming out today for the box review. Check out Gamersupps in the description. It's Kool-Aid like a kick in the ass, like Circus says. I gotta get me some more. You can use the code in the description for 10% off. Go daily. Make sure to get in the Discord. We are just having the daily World Championships right now. It's going on, and then we are going to be streaming Worlds Saturday night, 3 a.m. We're going to be up, so you can catch us there. Be sure to subscribe to YouTube. Tell us what you think about the box, what you think is going to be strong, and what you're going to do with your gems.
There you go.
Peace out, guys.
See ya.